Okay. Well, Sid, good to see you again.
Yeah. It is good to see me. I love to look at myself.
Now, there's this new single. Now, on the one side of it, there's quite a unique version of My Way by you.
Oh, is there?
Oh, yes, I'm certain there is. I've seen it. I've heard it.
Oh.
So, who else is on that?
A couple of frogs and Steve and me on bass.
What, French people?
Yeah. They laid down the basic backing track, and then we that was just a thin, weedy little sound, and Steve put the crashing guitars in, and I put the bass in.
Now, what about the other side of the record? Are you on that at all?
No, that was done in Rio de Janeiro.
Well, why weren't you on it?
Because I didn't want to go to Rio de Janeiro.
So, you preferred to stay in America?
Yeah, I didn't want to go to that shithole with all those peasants.
Well, it broadens the mind travel, so they tell me.
Does it?
Well...
My head's big enough already.
Now, we've heard various other versions of the split-up of the original Pistols. Would you like to tell us your side of it?
I'll tell you the truth. I said before I left for the States that if John hadn't shaped up and become the performer that he used to be, that I was leaving the band. And he just got worse and worse and worse, saying after the gig in Frisco I just said that I phoned John up and said that I didn't want to be in the band anymore and that I was leaving. And so that was it, the band broke up. They couldn't go on without me, because they couldn't. I mean, if any of the group had split, it would have fallen apart. So we were too close. There couldn't have been any replacements. They couldn't have replaced Jones or Rotten or Cook or me. So the band broke up.
But, of course, you still had Mr. McLaren looking after you and having you all under contract.
Yeah.
And you had to finish a film, didn't you? What was the...
Yeah.
How did it all pan out? I mean, we've heard these stories about people trying to creep up on Johnny Rotten in Jamaica and film...
Boogie, that arsehole, the road manager who ballses up everything that you could imagine. Makes a fuck up of every single thing that you could possibly imagine.
But what happened?
He couldn't boil an egg. He couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. He's like that kind of a person. Wouldn't know a string quartet from a string vest, and he's supposed to be out running our PA, you know.
What happened to the film? Is the film about to come out?
Late autumn, I think.
What is it? It's changed its title again, hasn't it?
I don't know.
Do you have very much interest in it?
Particularly care? No, I've got no interest in it at all. I just did my bit for the money. And I thought my bit was quite good. I quite enjoyed doing it. I don't care what the rest of it's like. People see what a star I am.
Did you sing My Way in the film?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to Virgin afterwards to see it, to see what I look like.
Right, because you were in a less healthy state when it was being made, of course.
Yeah, I was really white, really pallid.
Why did you decide on My Way?
I didn't. They asked me to do it, and at first I absolutely refused because they wanted me to do it absolutely straight. But then I hit on this idea of doing the first verse in a like Frank Sinatra kind of way, but changing all the words. I've changed all the words. All the words in the entire song are completely different now. And I thought that if I did that and had the first verse like Frank Sinatra, and then all of a sudden it rock out and like rock and roll, you know, and a snidey voice to go with it, that it would be like people would be really fooled by the beginning and wonder what was going on. Then all of a sudden it would go crash, you know. I think, yes, this is it. This is what we were waiting for.
Did you want it to be on a record with a track by Ronald Biggs?
I didn't particularly care.
So you don't have any particular feeling about Ronald Biggs then?
I think he's a smart guy for getting away.
So, all this talk about Ronald Biggs being the new lead singer of the Sex Pistols is unlikely to be true then?
Complete nonsense. The Sex Pistols are finished. There could never be a replacement for John Rotten.
Do you regret this?
I'm not going to... I mean, Stephen Paul could go on with the Sex Pistols with Ronald Biggs, but they'd need to find a new bass player, because I certainly wouldn't play.
Do you regret the Sex Pistols being finished?
Awfully. Terribly. Sometimes it upsets me so much that I cry about it, because that band stood for so much. It stood for so much, like freedom of youth and speech, and like it was very revolutionary, and it upsets me at times. I get very emotional. I cry about it because it was such an incredibly worthwhile band, and no other band can ever do that. There won't ever be another band like that can do that, like Anarchy in the UK, God Save the Queen. There won't ever be another band that can do that and cause so much by just making a record and appearing on TV and just like saying, oh, fuck this, fuck that, quite casually. Nothing we ever did was planned. That thing on Bill Grundy, it wasn't planned, it just happened. It was spontaneous completely. I mean, Steve's a bit of a joker, so like when he was asked to say rude words, he did. Just for the hell of it, just for a laugh, because that's the kind of guy Steve is.
Do you think there's any chance that, the original 4 members will ever get together again?
No, not a chance, ever.
What, because of the personal differences between the rest of you and John Rotten?
Well, I'm at the moment friends with John. The other 2 are not friends with him. They don't want to play with me because they just think I'm a junkie, which I'm not anymore. And the other 2 are a bit too straight, if you know what I mean. They're very, very straight. I'd rather have a band where there's a bit more freedom to do what you want in your spare time.
Did you ever want to join John's new band?
No.
Why not?
Because I already had something of my own going, and I just didn't want to be in a band with John anymore. Once I've done something, that's it. I've been in a band with John already. I don't ever want to be in a band with him again. And he wouldn't want to be in a band with me ever again, because it's like past history. If you've done something once, what's the point of repeating yourself?
So, presumably, this means that you're not about to reform the Flowers of Romance.
No, I'm not. I'm supposed to be getting a band together called The Living Dead with Johnny Thunders.
How long's that been planned then?
A few weeks.
Anybody else going to be in it that you know of yet?
Maybe a guy called Henri Paul, who's pretty good.
So was he on one of the backing tracks on? Because he sounds French.
On Dead or Alive? Johnny's record, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He played bass, but he'll be playing rhythm guitar when we get the band together.
Well, who's going to be lead singer?
Well, Johnny and I'll do the singing.
Oh, right.
There won't actually be a lead singer like it was with the Heartbreakers,
Yeah. Does Malcolm McLaren still manage you?
No, he doesn't anymore. My girlfriend manages me.
Was it difficult to get away from Malcolm?
No, it wasn't at all, because as a clause of doing the film, I said that I had the choice of either having him manage me or not, and that it was my choice, and that he had to do what I said. And so, if I don't want to be managed by him, I don't have to, and if I want him to manage me, he has to manage me.
Interesting new clause that people then...
Well, I'm not stupid,
Right.
People have, like, this is the way I fool people. Like a complete dummy, you know, duh, oh, Sid Vicious, duh. But in actual fact, they underestimate me so much that when it actually comes to it, they find out that I fooled them completely. That's the way I operate. It's the best way.
I'm sure you're right. Did you, in fact, make as much money as everybody said you did out of the Sex Pistols?
No, not at all.
Do they still owe you money then?
Yeah.
And is there any hope of you getting it?
Yeah.
Surely it must have all come in, though. I mean, there's no reason for...
Yeah, but there'll still be more money coming in from the album and the single, and there's My Way and the film. There'll be money coming in from that. So I'll have money from that. And, like, you know, if anyone tries to cheat me, I'll just, like, go down and sort them out.
Yeah, give them a good kicking.
Yeah.
As you want them.
Well, I'll threaten to do that, and they'll be so frightened of having it done to them that they will cough up.
Are you still signed with Virgin?
I think so, yeah.
Are you about to...
They want me.
I'm sure they would.
Otherwise they wouldn't be bringing me down here, would they?
But, well, yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Are you, do you have any plans to revert to your real name, as your ex-leader has just done?
No, not at all. Sid is my name now. I've grown used to it and I see no reason to change it.
So, you're not going to get it done by deed poll or anything?
No, I'm just Sid Vicious.
Right. Unmistakable indeed. Well, what else are you going to do apart from this band? I mean, have you got any other plans?
No, not really. I just want to get another band together and tour.
And is Nancy going to manage Johnny Thunders as well, or is everybody...
I don't know, I'm not sure. She's managing me at the moment. I don't know whether she'll manage Johnny Thunders. I don't know whether he'll have enough faith in her, but she's damn smart. Damn smart. She's been like around the music business since she was 13, and she knows a lot of guys and she can pull a lot of weight.
Are you still happy with the music business as a, you know, kind of a lifestyle?
Yeah, very. I couldn't possibly do anything else.
Well, I don't see you writing books of poetry at the moment, I must admit.
Oh.
But, so...
rock and roll is like my life, you know, I couldn't do anything else.
When can we expect to see your Living Dead? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that. That's something I can't answer.
Well, when would you like it to be then?
Tomorrow. Today. But, like, you know, there's legal hassles and this and that to be sorted out, and Thunder's general unreliability.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will be very interested to see it when it happens. And thanks for coming in.
Okay.
All right?
It was a pleasure, I assure you.
Yeah. Well, it was quite close to home though, wasn't it?
What? How do you mean?
Don't you live at this side of town?
Yeah.
Well...
Is that it? Off now?
That's fine. Thank you very much for coming. Well, I am going to try and get this on Radio 1.